Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. Before we begin today's video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that way you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have any topic or you want me to go over my take on a video, put it in the comment section. Make sure that you do that so that way I can make a video based on your recommendations. Hit the like button for this video. Actually, this is one of my stories. This is a story video. It's kind of like How I Met Your Mother, but in a concise. It's not about meeting my wife or anything like that. It's just, it's that style where you're telling a story that eventually involves the different topics that we've been talking about. And so if you want to connect with me on Facebook, at Carlos Flores Jr., if you want to connect with me on Instagram, at Back on Basics, if you want to connect with me on X, at Back on Basics as well. So, there's so many stories that I have, and I've told you some of them, but not every single one of them. There's a lot of different stories that shape who I am. And those are the ones that you want to make sure that you process, because you want to make sure that what you're doing is based on your basic foundation, right? Basic foundation, where you put solid foundational skills, solid foundational steps, so that way you're able to follow through and you're able to have something below you that'll support you through good times and bad times. I mean, there are good times and bad times. Remember, we talked about all of that, right? So, one of the things that I still remember is the fact that, I should have just played high school football for 4 years, but I only did it my senior year. I know that my parents weren't too keen about me playing football. I mean, I wasn't the biggest. I was pretty fast, but I wasn't the biggest. And so I would get thrown through the side like a rag doll most of the time, because I played offensive line. I actually played left tackle. And so my job, about 98% of the snaps, was for me to pull. So if you can see all of the linemen, right? All of the linemen, like they're lined up. This is the left tackle here, right? I would pull all the way to the other side where the people that are coming this way wouldn't see me, and I would get a chance to stop them from getting to the quarterback or getting to the running back or getting to the wide receiver. A lot of the times it worked, but there were some times that it didn't. And so I would be on my butt because I would get hit really hard. I mean, I was a small person. I mean, I was one of the smallest tackles in the league. And so, but I enjoyed it. You know why? Because it played with both my mental and physical aspects, right? I think in high school, that's when I started realizing that mind-body balance was something that I needed to focus on. And so at that point, I think I was one of the times that I was one of my lowest weights. I was smaller. Like I said, I played left tackle. I did a little bit of running back, which didn't work. I would get caught a lot of times behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes I would play defense. I would play defensive lineman. Again, right? It's all about my speed. And that was the thing that the coach said. We're going to utilize your speed. You're not the biggest, but you're pretty fast. And we want you to get past these big behemoths, right? These big players that, it'll take them a couple of times to get off of their butts while you are already behind the line going after the quarterback. Well, it worked from time to time, but most more often than not, they would just grab me and they would just sit on me, or they would just throw me like a rag doll. And so, but you know what? That was the most that was one of the most exciting times that I've had. I wouldn't I wouldn't change it for anything. I love the fact that I was playing a team sport. I was playing a very physical team sport. Uh, and at the same time, the camaraderie that we had as a team, even though we only won one game that season, right? We were very tight. We were really good with each other. We really took care of each other. As much as we could, we were able to become kind of like brothers because we knew what we were supposed to do for one another. No, other people didn't have to tell us. The other players didn't have to tell us what they wanted. We knew what they wanted. All you have to do is give me that look, and I would say, okay, I'm pulling and I'm getting ahead of you. I'm a little bit faster, so I need to get that, and I will become your wall, or I will become your, or I'll be the one who stops the person from coming, so that way you can have an easier pathway to the first down or to the touchdown. I loved it. It was just a lot of mind games because of the way the people lined up and the teams lined up. We lined up, the plays that we ran. I mean, it was amazing. I think, and like I said, about 95 to 98% of the time, I was pulling. I was going from one side to the other. And I was trying to make sure that I did it fast enough so that way I'm able to stop somebody from coming from the other side. It was amazing. I mean, I would love it. Another thing that I really enjoyed about playing high school football was the fact that, I mean, we were practicing hours on end, almost every day of the week. I mean, we had some days off, but sometimes, man, and in the summers we had double practice. Man, I mean, by the time I left the field and I changed, my legs were shaking because we were doing like burpees. We were running miles in our football outfits, and so I mean, it was just. But at the same time, it was like us creating that camaraderie, and so we gelled together as a team. Even though we only won one game, we were still very tight. It's like, I mean, one of my good friends, his name is Bert. I mean, we would, I mean, even after school, we would leave. We would he would come to my house. We would hang out. We would go to different places. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was just like a brotherhood. It was like a fraternity. And the nice thing about it is that game day, right? You would wear either your home or your away jersey, and I mean, you were the popular kid at that time. Even though I know that, you know, for me it was all about my studies. I loved being part of that group, that, you know, that selected few that have that home or away jersey on because you're going to play later on that afternoon. I mean, it's amazing. It's adrenaline. I was an adrenaline junkie at that time because there were so many new things that I was learning about myself. I was learning about my limits. I was learning about how much pain I would take. I was learning about how this game was so much about the strategy, than just going out there and just tackling or pulling or anything like that. It was amazing. I loved playing football. I know that things have changed, rules have changed. Some people don't play it anymore. Now there's flag football as well. There's leagues, and I agree with that because not everybody's going to put pads and want to get hit or want to hit somebody. There are some people that it would be best because they have more speed or they have more finesse, right? Or they have more things. That flag football would be best. I think having a combination of flag football and just, I don't want to say regular football, but tackle football is a great options to have in high school, because you can either do one or the other, and it doesn't really matter, because football is football, right? I know that some people go there for the hits, some people go there for the runs, for the glory, for the everything. Flag football or tackle football, I mean, again, football is football. I enjoyed that whole year, and then I wished I was part of the team from the beginning, from my freshman year, and so it was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. That was one of my happiest times in high school. Don't get me wrong. I was very happy because I was valedictorian. I won scholarships. I gave a speech, my valedictorian speech at the graduation, and it was amazing. I had experiences, both good and bad, that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go to Richmond High School. I mean, I'm forever an Oiler, right? Richmond High School Oilers. That's what we were. I mean, I tried getting a shirt. I tried doing a lot of things, so that way I could keep it as a memento, but we couldn't. I mean, that was against the rule. So I said, that's fine. I have pictures. I mean, I have a lot of different things, and so again, those are the things that you will remember whether you're happy or you're sad, whether you're grasping for some kind of momentum. Remember, always start things in the present moment, in the here and now, because that's where you're going to be focused. That's how you're going to be able to get to where you want to get to. That's how you're going to make the decision, like I did. 4 years later, as a senior, I played football, and I don't regret it. I loved it. I wish I would have played all 4 years, but again, right? Decisions have to be made. I focused more on my studies for the first 3 years. Even my fourth year, I was straight A's, and it was difficult to be a straight A student and a football player. And I wrestled another year. I played soccer another year. I mean, I enjoyed sports. Mind-body balance, right? In high school, that was the examples that I was seeing, and that was the examples that I'm giving you. That mind-body balance is important, because without it, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to be able to move forward. So make sure that you're using your mind and your body, so that way you can move forward. I mean, it doesn't have to be 2, 3, 4 steps. It can be half a step or a quarter of a step, because that, by definition, ladies and gentlemen, is moving forward. It doesn't have to be a huge forward push. It could just be 1/4 of a step, 1/8 of a step. That is, by definition, again, moving forward. So, why am I telling you this story? 1 is because I want you to know that I love football. 2, I want you to know that if it was up to me, I would have played 4 years instead of just 1. 3, I wanted to know that chasing your dreams, it's great. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn what makes you do things that sometimes you wouldn't do, or you wouldn't ask anybody else to do. And so it's amazing. It's a lot of the things that take place. So I want you to understand this. Making sure, 1, that your mind-body balance is optimal in the present moment, right? In the here and now. Making sure that every opportunity that you want to take it. Do it. It's great. You won't regret it. And if you fail, then you have more opportunities later on. Believe me, that's not going to be the last one. You have to understand that that's not the last one. So, why am I telling you these stories? Because I know that a lot of you are holding back. You have so much energy. You have so much mind capacity. You have so much physical attributes. You have what I called the perfect and most focused of all the minds and bodies out there. It's a perfect balance. It is. It is. It's mind and body. They're working together. They're cohesive. You know, anticipation with what's going on. And so, again, give yourself the opportunity to do what you want to do. You won't regret it. And even if you fail, you won't regret it because at least you tried it. And you can try it again and again and again. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics, at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that way you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. Hit the like button. Again, right? This video will show you that there shouldn't be no what ifs. There shouldn't be what I should have done blank. There shouldn't be those things. Because if you set your mind to it, if you do it in the present moment, if you mind-body balance, you can do whatever you want to. You can. I bet you. I mean, that is something that you will realize if you try it. So, till next time, Back on Basics.